My one real problem with Digimon Beatbreak has officially been fixed after the excellent episode 24. The tactics arc is now behind us. Digimon Beatbreak might be halfway done. So how did the newest Digimon anime's second storyline fare? Did Beatbreak keep the hype going after an excellent intro arc, or did tactics kind of drop the ball? In this video we'll be covering Beatbreak 22 through 25, essentially the grand finale to the tactics arc, and one episode after the big battle just to be safe. Is this the midpoint of the series? Welcome back to the DigiKnow, where we review and cover Digimon, but also Millennium era anime like Beyblade, Shaman King, Metabots. If you've watched at least 2 of my videos and enjoyed them, do me the favor of hitting subscribe so I can one day catch up to my rival, Carney X. It would be unreal to hit 100,000 subscribers, and I need to get better about asking. Totally free and would mean a lot to me. So, episode 22, Defiance. Following 21, Team Tactics is falling apart. Raito was exiled after failing a recent mission, Granite has betrayed the organization, siding with Glowing Dawn, and Naito's last remaining soldier, Hotaruko, has been tasked with finding and eliminating the traitor. And while Clay is hunting down the Tactics turncloaks, he himself is now a target of Wong and the 5 Stars, having been exposed for leading this horrific black market auctioning Digimon and humans. Hotaruko finds Granite sleeping under Glowing Dawn's care, straight up tries to murder Granite by drowning him. It's honestly quite shocking. Her eyes show remorse, but she's very close to doing the damn thing. Honoka is here looking for Clay and the Tactics team, which puts Hotaruko and Granite on their target list. Granite, now awake, protects Hotaruko, signaling that he forgives her for what she had just tried to do. With the help of Glowing Dawn, these two come to realize that they, along with the absent Raito, do have a kind of familial bond at this point. There is some nice found family stuff here that makes Honoka cringe, so much so that she nopes out of the episode entirely in a way that is a little underwhelming but mostly comedic. The show is clearly saving that showdown for a future date. Instead, we get all of Glowing Dawn plus Granite and Hotaruko facing off against Naito and his Gigasmon one last time in this mirror world. Murasamemon knocks out Gigas, who reverts to in training and enters Kyo and the others' care, while Naito runs off to his boss, Clay. Hotaruko and Granite, now ex-Tactics, tell Glowing Dawn that they have to go search for their third, Raito, who is lost in the mirror world. I like that they view Raito as closer to them than to Naito or Clay. Another victim, another that is capable of life after Tactics. I really wish the show hadn't made them paid security for a human trafficking auction a few episodes back. If not for that one episode, that one step beyond the line, I would be 100% sold on this redemption arc. As it stands, that crime just taints them for me. If only they could have not been working those auctions, or have had a line where they insisted they didn't know what was really happening. Instead, in that episode, Raito implied they knew exactly what they were doing, telling Tomoro that they were just following orders. You might disagree in the comments and say that this redemption arc was a success, but that black market participation a few weeks back, it was just a little too much for me. I wish they hadn't gone there. Not the show, I love the dark subject matter, but expecting us to forgive characters who were a part of that is a little tough. In 23, The Power to Take, Tomoro and the others head to the Republic of Albida via the Mirror World to rescue those who have been cold-hearted. Major world history gets revealed here courtesy of Clay. He was present during the Kano Island incident, and according to him, a relative of Tomoro's, possibly grandfather, was there as well. After a civilian uprising in the Albida Kingdom, a late teens, early 20s Clay was relocated to the Kano Island, which used to shelter refugees from all around the world. Unbeknownst to the public, Kano Island also hosted secret research and experiments to extract energy from human thoughts and emotions, early e-pulse. Kano Island residents were experimented on, courtesy of Chairman Wong, and some of the first humans to help bring Digimon into the material world. One day, a massive godlike creature appeared over the island. A middle-aged man who is only referred to as Tenma, Tomoro and Asuka's last name, theorizes that the monsters must have fought over the e-pulse and fused into a giant being with godlike power. Is this Digimon fusion happening in Beatbreak? When that god-tier Digimon suddenly vanished in a flash of light, it left only a crater where Kano Island once was. An entire landmass off the map, and the resulting mega earthquake devastated the climate, flooding the city where Tomoro grew up. Clay tells us how Wong escaped accountability for the entire catastrophe, and how if anything he came out on top, with his e-pulse and Sapotama products hitting the mainstream. Clay's actions up until now have been to overthrow Wong, fearing that the chairman's mission isn't complete and that he'll stop at nothing to continue what he was started on Kano Island. It doesn't make what Clay has been doing right, but at least we finally understand why he's been doing all of this. He's been gathering warriors, really e-pulse, strong enough to create a digital monster that could stop Wong. Back in the present, using the power of over a dozen Tamers that include Naito as well as Hotaruko and Granite, Clay successfully spawns the first named Mega in Digimon Beatbreak, Pyramidimon. That fusion monster in the Kano Island flashback may have been a Mega, but we don't see what it was or get a name. Clay's Pyramidimon is not quite a Matrix evolution or biomerge, but the way it's storyboarded and animated, it's almost as if Clay fused with the monster. He is sort of absorbed inside, maybe caught in the storm is more accurate, as the Mega level sand creature forms around him. It's born of over a dozen unwilling Tamers involuntarily donating their E-Pulse, and as a result, we're told that this Mega is unstable. This is why there's a small chance that one Ultimate and 3 champions, Glowing Dawn, could take them down. The music needle drop in this sequence is excellent. Beatbreak's main instrumental theme is so powerful, and it lands really elegantly here following Reina's line that we're family, right? As they rush into battle, Cougarmon tells a recovering Kyo how when he was with the 5 stars, Kyo's E-Pulse used to be black and full of rage, but now it gives off multiple colors, the colors of his family. And then for the first time in Beatbreak's 20+ episode run, we get a full-fledged, all-out evolution animation, Cougarmon going to Murasamemon with this excellent black and green wireframe sequence that feels straight out of Digimon Tamers. Up until this point, evolution sequences have felt like they were missing something. This had been my one critique with Beatbreak. Recent seasons like Ghost Game and Adventure spared no expenses in their jaw-dropping evolution sequences. Beatbreak, on the flip side, has gorgeous battle animation practically every week, but up until now the evolutions were kind of lacking. A Sapotama is thrown into the air, a Digimon reaches for it, then a flash of light overwhelms the camera, and a new Digimon is standing where we last saw its prior form. But with 23 and what we'll get in 24, Beatbreak is finally giving us high quality and nostalgic form changes. I imagine the other Ultimates and Megas from here on out will bring the hype the way 23 and 24 do, at least for the Glowing Dawn monsters. When the evolution sequence is complete, we see Murasamemon overwhelm an unsteady and unnatural Pyramidimon with just this outrageously well animated action sequence. Digimon fans are so spoiled right now. Pyramidimon is downed. When it seems like the battle is over and Clay is to be apprehended, Kyo is kind of PG impaled by Proganamon and cold-hearted in front of our eyes. We get the creepiest drawn face in Beatbreak's run thus far, courtesy of a Clay who has lost it all. That is how the episode ends, with the leader of Glowing Dawn falling victim to a sneak attack. 24, Overlapping Beats, is the true climax to this tactics arc. Immediately we know this is going to be an all-timer of an episode as we skip the opening theme and instead the staff credits are overlaid atop the battlefield. Very cinematic feeling. I posted about this on social, but episode 24 of Digimon Adventure 2020 was also a major episode for that series. This remarkable animation showcase that also involved the protagonist, in that case Taichi, pushing his Digimon towards a rage-fueled dark transformation. Kind of funny that Beatbreak 24 followed suit. We witness Reina and Makoto both downed only 3 minutes into the 23-minute episode. Their monsters are defeated and their E-Pulse is stolen. Now it's just Tomoro and Gekkomon facing off against Clay and a Proganamon that has been boosted by the E-Pulse of his own allies, his Glowing Dawn family. We get those Shinji eyes from Tenma and some agonizing screams. I just know Zeno Robinson is going to crush the scene when the episode is dubbed in English. There's some excellent sound work here. Tomoro's dark E-Pulse is not only visually overwhelming, glitching and pulsing, but audio-wise it emits this alarm sound like an emergency alert, as if to tell the user and those nearby that something is horribly wrong. Monarch Lizamon doesn't evolve into a new form. It's not a full-on SkullGreymon or Mugendramon moment. Instead, he's covered in a horrible black aura and goes berserk on Proganamon. There are great screams of despair from Gekkomon's actor too, like the innocent monster is trapped inside the body of a berserker that Tomoro created. Still, Monarch Lizamon sort of freezes up, glitching out and stalling like there's been a system overload. It looks like they're unable to fight and done for when Raito of Team Tactics and his Ramphomon sweep in for a save. This is the first time to me that Raito has felt like a full-on shonen anime rival to Tomoro. The smugness of the save coupled with the genuine turn towards doing the right thing despite the risk, it's terrific. Should they keep Raito in the story, which I'm not sure they will after this arc, at least not weekly, I could now see these two coming together for some kind of DNA digivolution a la Ken and Davis in 02. Raito of all people gives Tomoro a reality check, asking him to listen to Gekkomon's voice to realize that they've become out of sync. Of course, Raito is guilty of doing the same thing a few weeks back, losing his past battles against Tomoro because he was never in tune with his partner Digimon. Raito says, quote, "Digimon and humans, when their emotions overlap, they can reach greater heights. You're the one who taught me that, Tomoro Tenma." Raito and his monster play decoy against Proganamon. Tomoro apologizes and asks Gekkomon to lend him his strength once more. Gekkomon says no, at least to the idea of lending strength. The little monster clarifies, quote, "Strength isn't lent or given, it's something you combine, you know?" Tomoro flashes back to an early memory of jamming with his guitarist brother Asuka. It was two people bringing their own sounds and styles into the room in order to make something new and beautiful. As a musician myself and a Digimon fan, I'm so thrilled to have this musician main character, this drummer kid, in Digimon. These music analogies hit so hard and make great sense for the message of Beatbreak. With Tomoro and Gekkomon blending their sounds, their souls, metaphorically making music together, we are able to achieve ultimate through a dynamite evolution sequence. Again, a stunning bit of animation that uses that green wireframe aesthetic we saw all the way back in Tamers, solving my one real complaint about Digimon Beatbreak. The evolution's kinda lacking. We witnessed the birth of Monarch Lizamon. Funny thing, the official Digimon YouTube channel initially went with Monarch Lizamon for its English language title, which to me is an incorrect reading of the katakana. I know translation is never one-to-one, but this is so clearly not right. But I was glad to see the Crunchyroll subtitles and much of the community in agreement that it really ought to be Monarch Lizamon, as in Arma Lizamon. This design is very much a Beatbreak spin on MetalGreymon, WarGrowlmon, a mechanized dino/dragon of an ultimate. I will say I'm surprised that the Gekkomon evolutions have not leaned into the music/drummer thing visually, but as I said, Tomoro's musician history was present in the writing seconds prior, so not a major deal. A final showdown takes place with this larger-than-life sumo-style standoff in a way that reminded me of Parrotmon vs. Greymon in Digimon Adventure 99. Kaiju sumo, basically. Clay is at last defeated and apprehended by the Ministry, who arrive and take him away on behalf of Wong. The final few minutes of 24 mark the end of Tactic's storyline. Unless they come back later for a final battle of sorts, it seems like we're wrapping up here. Otariko offers Granite a job at her family restaurant, with those two having grown especially close. Raito offers no plan for himself or MetalGreymon, does not speak into existence any happy ending per se. Instead, he walked off coolly with no verbal farewell, but this nice waving gesture from behind his back that seems to say, "See you around." So what does Beatbreak look like post-Tactics? Apparently we're doing 3 interlude episodes before the next formal arc, what'll be called the Gift Arc. 25 is the first of these interlude episodes and sees the team coming home from the Albedo Kingdom on a cruise ship they managed to afford thanks to the massive bounty they earned for taking down Clay. I like that if we're going to do interlude stories, this one at least fits literally into the story/timeline. Like logically, Glowing Dawn had to get home somehow. It's not that we randomly won tickets to a cruise, it's that this was how we got back to home base. This episode is for Makoto and Chirapmon fans. While the others rest or lounge around the pool, those two attend a tokusatsu superhero show for kids on the cruise. It's a reminder that Makoto is the youngest of Glowing Dawn by far. He's supposed to be 10, a literal child. The actor under the Starmon suit is a cleaner/bounty hunter partnered with a Starmon who has a bit of imposter syndrome stemming from his reputation versus how he perceives his past battles with Digimon. 25 is this nice story about a performer becoming the superhero that the kids in his audience think he is. When a Petermon hypnotizes all of the kids, pirates board, and these are not fun One Piece pirates, these are masked men with real-world guns and horrible intentions. Makoto and Chirapmon team up with the Starman duo, facing off against a hypnotized Reina, Tomoro, as well as the pirates and Petermon. It is an entirely inoffensive episode of Digimon. If this type of story was all Beatbreak ever had to offer, we wouldn't be talking about the series with such high praise, but given the past 24 episodes have been story and lore heavy, I have no issue saying yes to one, well technically 3, light, ghost gamey episodes. And we already know they won't be entirely inconsequential stories. In the preview for 26, we saw Haruomi return along with the Kinoko gang, and in our new outro we see Haruko and Shademon from episode 8 or 9 I think it was, suggesting they may be back sooner than later. Not to hate on Ghost Game, a show I still enjoyed, but if Haruomi and his Digimon were from that show, they'd have had one episode and then Hiro and the others would never see them again, wouldn't even talk or think about them ever again. Even Beatbreak's seemingly inconsequential episodes reward fans who are watching for the story and the world building. So overall, 22 through 25 and the Tactics arc in general, this was another tremendous string of episodes, particularly the 1-2 punch of 23 and 24, which you couldn't have had without the setup in 22 and 21 for that matter. The first of 3 interlude episodes was fine. It's a little strange to be getting chill episodes here when we're not an anime based off a manga, so filler is not a thing, not literally. But on the flip side, Digimon social media referring to these interlude chapters before the 3rd arc commences in earnest kind of suggests that when the Gift arc starts, it'll be full pedal to the metal where every week matters, and I can't wait, that sounds awesome. The Tactics arc had an incredible rival team, these mirror versions of Glowing Dawn who arrived with seriously impressive storytelling as we saw in Granite's flashback, plus there was unbelievable animation, sound work, and nostalgic evolution cuts. I couldn't have asked for more from the Tactics arc. Total hats off to the Beatbreak writing staff staff, animation team, the audio department, and of course the voice cast. Let me know what you thought of these episodes of this arc and of Beatbreak overall. After 25 episodes, where would you rank this against other Digimon seasons? Remember to subscribe to support the channel in a totally free way. Also look into my original light novel, Monster Revolution, if you want more monster tamer adventures in a light cyberpunkish setting. More info on Monster in the video's description. Thanks so much for joining me on this review journey, and I'll see you in the next video.